viewers, and welcome to another segment of Possibilities with Esther. I am Esther James from NTR TV, and Possibilities with Esther comes to your TV every week. It's a program specially designed to channel your mindset into the possibilities of life. And sometimes we talk about topics, sometimes we have our guest. We talk about guest experiences, advices, business, of course, no politics, no religion. Sorry about that. And today I have a special guest who has a lot of experiences. We'll love to hear his mindset, what he thinks about life, his success, his journey, and also interaction between different cultures. He is by the name Mr. Türkoğlu. Mr. Türkoğlu is a Turkish. He defined himself as a freelance translator, international trade intermediary, business and immigration consultant, project writer, and a spiritual entrepreneur. Spiritual entrepreneur will be that topic I will really focus on this, our special guest for today. I'm curious to know what a spiritual entrepreneur will be. His interesting journey in life with coincidences, cycle success, and attempts and failures, dreams, ambitious lessons, teachings, learning, sharing voluntarily for Rotary Club, embassy staff experiences, and he had worked with lots of embassies. I welcome Mr. Türkoğlu to Possibilities with Esther.
Thank you, Esther, for having me today.
I'm so happy to have you here.
I hope this is going to be a good, fruitful discussion and teaching and learning experience for myself, for yourself, opening lots of possibilities for your viewers out there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for this opportunity and possibility. I also want to commend the work of NTR. I took a little look back, and I love what you guys are doing here.
Thank you so much.
Opening up from Turkey into Africa, a great continent. So I love that.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Apart from I on your profile, I saw something spiritual entrepreneur.
Okay.
So interested in that. But
Right.
before we go to that, can you tell us more about Türker?
All right. Well, I am actually an English teacher by profession. I was born in Mersin, the Mediterranean southern town of Mersin by the beach. And I went to school for English language teaching. And during my professional career, I ended up working in China at a Canadian school in China.
Oh, that's an experience, China.
That was interesting.
Wow.
Very interesting.
How did you manage with the language?
Well, I was an English teacher, right? So the school was established by Canadians. So lots of the staff and other school board managers, they all spoke English, and we were expected to speak English. You didn't need Chinese at all unless you're going out.
Yeah.
And I did learn a little Chinese. I'm interested in languages as well, having a linguistic background. So I worked there. I came back to Turkey. I did my military service in Anıtkabir in Ankara, which is the mausoleum for Atatürk, the first president of Turkey.
Yeah.
And
it's sorry to cut you short. About Anıtkabir, I noticed a lot of foreigners go there to.
Correct.
For what's so special about Anıtkabir?
Okay, so that's when I was introduced to foreign dignitaries, diplomatic world, protocol affairs, because foreign delegations are supposed to visit Anıtkabir, the mausoleum in memoriam of Atatürk, our founding father, the first president of Turkey. That is one of the significance there.
And it's also one of the major touristic area
attractions as well, both locally and internationally. You're right. And I was assigned there as a soldier, but I was wearing suits like a civilian. I was a tour guide, giving tours of the premises.
Oh, I see.
And that's when I got involved more in protocol affairs. I appeared in ceremonies there. I needed to accompany the foreign dignitaries, diplomatic corps, as they call it.
Yeah.
And then I decided after being discharged from the embassy. So this was a army. This was a coincidence in my life. One thing led to another, and here I am today. So that it has to do that spiritual entrepreneurship that I'm going to love to explain.
Yeah.
What happened there was, after I was discharged from the army service, I started working in one of the embassies in Ankara, the Malaysian embassy.
Malaysia, huh?
Yes, as a translator and protocol officer.
Yeah.
It was something that I had just recently learned, put into use throughout my military service for a period of 6 months. And then it became my profession, part of my personality too. And I started working in Malaysian embassy. I did, besides translation and protocol affairs, we hosted delegations, the prime ministerial visits. Then Prime Minister of Turkey, Mr. Erdogan, met his Malaysian counterparts. I was involved in those huge delegations, G20 summit, international summit back in 2015 in Antalya.
That's awesome.
Interesting experience. From there, I moved on to another embassy in Ankara, the Australian embassy. That also involves some sort of coincidences. Towards when I was feeling that I was nearing my career with the Malaysian embassy, I decided to take a course. I don't know whether it was a voice in my mind, whether something tempted me. And I decided I was doing part of human resources assistance to the higher management in the Malaysian embassy as well. But I didn't have certification. And because it is part of my life philosophy to teach and learn, I said, I have this knowledge, why don't I go through a course and get certified about it?
From all you've been saying, you have a very good relationship with foreigners. For you to work with Malaysia, Australia embassy.
That's right.
And I must say that your accent, your English is really good. You're a full Turkish man.
Okay.
So can you tell us, did you learn Turkish just for you? Because you know you're going to work with lots of international companies, or you're going to travel to other countries, or how did this accent and perfect English come?
Thank you so much. I'd like to take this as a compliment, but it again has to do with spirituality, connectedness, and intertwined things causing and affecting one another. What happened is, at high school, I went to a particular high school. Turkish people call it a super high school. So we had intensive English language courses there. So I attended 1 year prep class in English. And then I went to English language teaching faculty in Türkoğlu University in Adana, which was near my house. There is an American military base there, Incirlik. And I met with some friends, foreigners back then, started talking with them. Eventually, I pursued a dream to go to USA. And I spent 1 summer in the United States in scope of a program called Work and Travel USA, which is open for university students, Turkish university students, or students in Africa. I can tell you, take a look into this. This is a program, Work and Travel in US. It gives you a summer work and travel experience in the USA.
Who is qualified for that?
College students mainly, but there's a fee of participation that you need to pay. But don't worry about it, because you'll get a job. You'll work and try to save a lot of money, which I did. So that contributed to my English, I believe. I returned and then I graduated from my school, English language teaching. Like I said, ended up teaching for 2 years in China, working at the school founded by Canadians. So Canada also helped me. It was part of my career. And since then I worked with foreigners a lot, embassies. I attended in my social life also, I can say.
You can say that. How with all the changes of changing from one destination to another, how did you cope with the change factor?
Well, I'm a flexible person in general. of course, I have my ups and downs, but I take everything as a beautiful coincidence. I try to keep my
Beautiful coincidence.
vibration high and positive. I want to remain open to possibilities and opportunities that I create for myself. I create for people that I know. I'm planning to be helpful. So, and I feed myself with spirituality as well.
Yeah.
Where by spiritual entrepreneur, I'm trying to say that I'm not only focusing on mystical and spiritual aspects of life, our existence in this world, but as well as material things, entrepreneurship and business. But the person that I ended up being at this point in time, as part of my journey that is still ongoing, is I like to define myself as an entrepreneur willing to open up business for hopefully to Africa, which I've been recently learning a lot about, which I grew a great interest about this beautiful continent and people. A concept that I found out recently is Ubuntu. It tells me a lot about your culture. It's sharing, and despite our differences and diversity.
Ubuntu, what does that mean?
Ubuntu.
Where does the word come from?
I think it means humanity in many of the African languages, doesn't it? And
Ubuntu.
I am because we are. So different human beings, different ethnicity, background, mindset, lifestyle, experience like myself. There are so many people who are way much more experienced than myself within embassy community, for instance. And there are those who are less significant than myself. We are all different people, but together we form a community, a society. So, Mutinchi in Nigerian language.
Yeah, Mutinchi is in Hausa.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
Mutinchi is like a friendship.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
But this concept, I found out that it appears throughout mankind's history in different locations, different parts of the world, different cultures, in different ways. For instance, one of the spiritual teachings that I'm interested in is Sufism, which is Islamic mysticism. And there's a similar concept that says unity in diversity. So things are diverse, things are moving, things are changing, transforming. Day and night, cold and hot, coexist.
Yeah.
They are in duality. They follow one another. Like in life, you don't have bad days all the time. You have good times as well, happiness and misfortune events. But they all unite together. Countries or like African culture is using this. In fact, the European Union, back in 2000, they adopted this as their motto, united in diversity. You know how European Union is also comprised of different countries, languages, and backgrounds. But together, they're a union. So these kind of dynamics and philosophical aspects I'm trying to apply when I can into my business that I'm embarking on, bringing all this experience
together
that I have gathered up to this point. And since I decided leaving the Australian embassy on good terms, I'm thankful for them, for their professionalism. So we parted our ways, and I started working as a freelance translator. And in my business work, consultancy, visa and immigration consultancy for Turkish people who are willing to migrate, or businessmen that are looking for effective and efficient and flexible ways of connections, because I've been into both sides.
When you say connection, when you say connection, you mean in terms of business? Because from your profile, you made mention of in the health, which we know that currently there's this massive flow of people from Africa coming to Turkey.
Correct.
You know, recently the President Erdogan traveled to Africa
for
a business relationship. even for Nigeria in terms of mining, agriculture, and all that will be improved. So how do you function in that aspect of the translation? Is it the business? Which one do you function much better? Is it the media? Is it the medical or the business, the intermediary?
Well, in fact, I like to be helpful in wherever I'm needed, but the medical aspect, or I'm a Secretary General of International Health Association as of this moment at the same time. Okay. So I believe that no matter who you are, no matter where you came from, you need to find some ways to repay back to the community. So I do this through volunteer work at times. Nice. So it's not necessarily just business aspect. There is a voluntary aspect there too. And I know that agricultural technologies would be much useful for the African continent. For instance, I have a client, I can talk about this generally, who is involved in applying technology, the drone technology, into agricultural business, where they spray insecticides, pesticides, or irrigation water through drones.
Through drones.
And it saves.
That needs to be massive drone.
They are. And it saves a lot of water, which is scarce in Africa, for instance.
Yeah.
And because again, I'm willing to be helpful as well as making money, of course. So I imagine that it would be quite useful saving water resources, which is already scarce in Africa.
Yeah.
Bring in technology, bring in the right people, investors, and combine and teach people there. Because again, I believe if you teach, you'll learn something. You'll at least learn one thing, how to teach better.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything, if you do not learn, you have nothing to teach to people.
Yeah.
So teach so that you can learn. This is one of my life philosophies.
That's very
my
nice.
mottos.
That's very nice. We have come to almost the half of the program.
All right.
And by the time we come back after the commercial break, I will be so interested in this spiritual entrepreneur, and also try to know your life philosophy and mindset. Okay, our viewers, we are coming to the second part. We are going actually after the commercial break, and we'll still have Mr. Türker Türkoğlu with us. Don't go anywhere, as the exciting part is yet to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Again, and welcome back to the second segment of Possibilities with Esther. I am Esther James, and I have a special guest with us, Mr. Türker, and he's been telling us about his journey so far, being a intermediary person in business, and also voluntarily person to supporting the humanity. And at this point, we'll be talking about a major topic which I've mentioned for those of you who have been watching us from the beginning. I said the topic is spiritual entrepreneur. Mr. Türker.
Okay.
Nice to have you back again.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm sure our viewers are actually also anxious to know about this spiritual entrepreneur.
Well, I am not sure if it exists in literature somewhere, in business context. But this is something that, among other tags, this is something that I like to define myself as. So I'm trying to be a spiritual person, learning and reading about different cultures, belief systems, about people's backgrounds, people's motivations, develop myself both in my mind, my body if I can, and my soul, and combine them together. So at the same time, we live in a material world, in an aspect, and I have to make money. So I'm trying to find ways where I can apply and implement, combine these two aspects together. But you need to have a balance in there. If you go towards daydreaming a lot, of course dream. Of course, think positively. Of course, be open to possibilities.
Yeah.
But if you go too far in the spiritual realms, or if you meditate a lot and you lose grip
Of reality.
of reality, that's a danger there.
Yeah.
But if you're after material gains, money, billions of dollars, that is also a danger. Because greed will eat you from inside out.
You will never be satisfied.
You'll never be satisfied. It will never be true success
Yeah.
unless you can combine and find this balance. Life is balanced, like I mentioned. There is hot and cold,
Yeah.
evil and good in every person. But a wise man will try to find the balance in there, be useful while gaining the material gains of this world, be mutually beneficial to himself and the universe or environment that he's living in. I believe that I want to, first of all, the beginning point is to know myself before I can help others.
Very good
And then
point.
hopefully help my family and my close proximity of friends and relations, relatives.
Yeah.
And then my community, my country that I was born and raised. And hopefully entire humanity, and leave a legacy behind me that will live forever. So this is taking steps. So this is the approach behind it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to mention that life is a journey. And in this journey, maybe reaching out to your destination doesn't matter greatly, because of course you should have a general idea of your main objective and goal, where you're going. Philosopher Seneca once said, a boat which knows not to which port he's sailing towards, no wind is favorable. So if you don't know where you're directed, no wind, even the best winds, will not blow your yacht or sails and push you forward. So you should have a general understanding and objective for success. So this is a recipe for success, I believe. Know your general direction, but be ready that things can change. What you think today was upsetting and disappointing and not useful might be very useful later.
That's a beautiful coincidence.
My career, yes, are full of moments of these kind of things. But like I said, I meditate, I keep myself talking to my friends for support, that I don't want to go delve into mysticism or spiritual part of it a lot, living in a dream world. Oh, I'm a miraculous person. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying my life is full of beautiful coincidences because I'm special. Every person is special. But like I said, don't get pride and greed eat you inside out.
Yeah, because they said that philosophers said that everyone has his own definition of success. Success is defined by you.
Correct.
So there's no particular structure in the book that says success
This
is
is
where
success.
this is it. No, some people, if they do this, for me, success could be today, I have achieved this success today.
Correct.
The fact that I have you on my program, I have a successful program, I was able to pass a message to someone out there, this is success.
Yes.
And then the next day, but we already know this is where we're heading to. In the media, I'm going to be this in this media, but being a successful media personal every day. I picked something from what you said. You said a lot of people, like, the life already changes.
Correct.
And I think most people do not realize that.
Correct.
They are so comfortable with the way things are, and things should be like that. So when things change, they couldn't change. They can't accept to change with it. And before you know it, it poisons the mind. They begin to feel like my life is different. My friend's own is better than mine. Like that. And before you know it, eats them up. And that brought failure.
Correct.
To achieving their dream.
When you, like you said, when you compare yourself with other people, of course you can be inspired.
Yeah.
This is one of the the functions of even this show. That you're doing a great job out there for the viewers.
Thank you.
So that is something people can look up to. They can learn from my mistakes, my failures. Not a single person is full of success only or failures only.
Yeah.
So the starting point should be knowing yourself. And this is both an inwards journey and external journey. When you understand this, you are really relaxed and a moment of enlightenment hits you. And in my life, like I said, in my journey, I'm trying to find this light, find this beauty within myself first, so that it can turn outside. So that what happens within me, thinking positively, of course, like I said, I'm a human being, I make mistakes, I have ups and downs, depression and happiness, but I tend to accept
it's
it
our
together.
humanity, it's the human in us.
Correct.
Yeah.
About a journey, let me tell you a beautiful story that I think is might resonate with some of the people out there. Is a 12th century poet, a Persian poet. Actually, this is a concept that I identify myself much as well. Let me give you a brief background first. It has to do with the legendary bird of phoenix. In Greek mythology, there exists a bird made of fire and flames, and it burns itself out, and then it rises again from its ashes. So life can give you lemons, and then sour times, difficulties, but you need to know how to rise up again from your ashes. That fire of greed can kill you, can combust you out, put you into all ashes, no flame left, but it can also give you warmth and quality life. So same thing can be both evil and something good. So, and understanding that life is a journey and cycle, this bird gets reborn over and over again. And it has to do with another concept that I mentioned. Ubuntu appears in Africa, but unity in diversity appears somewhere else. Like this bird. This bird in the Western world appears as phoenix. But in the Middle Eastern or Persian literature, even Turkic, Proto-Turkish and our Asian ancestry has this bird, Tuğrul or Kondrul, which gets born again from its ashes. So the birds, they start on a journey. They're looking for a king to rule them, to lead them, to save them. They have no king at that time. And the wisest of them says, hey, I heard about this legendary bird, Simurg, which lives atop of this legendary, mysterious mountain. If we fly up there, we can reach this bird and ask him to reign us, to become our leader, our king, who's with me. So some of them, the birds in the world, join the flock and they start flying. There are 7 challenges or valleys in this poem by Faridettin Attar. Those viewers out there who are interested in this topic, they can search more about Simurg. But let me tell you, they go through these challenges. First, they cross the valley of quest, where they get rid of the knowledge, their belief, their dogmas. Then they reach into the valley of love. So they get rid of their logic for the sake of love. So this journey goes on and on. After struggles, each of them representing a fault in human mind and life, they get rid of them. They reach top of the mountain. They see in the throne, where this throne of this bird is supposed to be, they find a lake. So they gather around in a circle around this lake atop this mountain. They look into it, only to see their reflection and the lake functioning as a mirror.
So all
They
these
found out
challenges, all the journey thing they went is just
to
to
find
see
a
the
king
reflection of themselves.
of 30 C morg bird in Persian. So these 30 birds,
Yeah.
all along, what they've been looking for is actually themselves.
In themselves. Oh my God.
This is a different-
I have to look for this to read because it's so
I'm
deep,
glad.
because most times we try to go around looking for something which is already here.
Which is already in,
Yeah. And this
within
brings
us.
my second to next question. What's your life philosophy?
Well, from college times, even high school, when I started thinking what is giving me inspiration, what is keeping my mood going on, was like I said, because life is a journey, there is dark and light.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for light. I'm looking for light. But it's useless if I do not reflect it. So find the light. That means you need to search for it. You need to go
You
through
have to
this
go through
journey,
the
that we
the
mentioned.
darkness,
Difficulties,
keeping the
challenges.
logic for the sake of love, because you
But
can
if
mix
you
love.
don't share it
Yeah.
within your community, within your business life, it's useless. So you need to find the light and reflect it.
Before
You
it will
cannot be
significant.
enlightened only for yourself. You need to
Yeah.
illuminate people.
What will you say to care from a childhood to now?
It's transformation.
Yeah.
It's still man in the making. So I like to also use another analogy. There is a contemporary artist. I love her work so much. In a statue she did, Bobby Carlyle. She lives in Colorado, USA. She has made a bronze sculpture statue, Self-Made Man. So this self-made man is,
I know it's
carving himself
It looks
outside.
big up and
Yeah.
it's carving
from
himself
a
up.
huge rock.
Yeah,
And
huge
he's
rock.
carving himself. So, like I said, I have a general idea of the destination and objective that I want to reach out to,
Yeah.
but I'm not stubborn about it. I'm persistent, but I'm not stubborn about it.
Yeah.
About success, I can give this tip to your viewers maybe in a bit. But it's a process, and sometimes the journey is more important than the destination that you're going to reach out. So I'm still a man, self-made man in process. So I like to identify myself as such at times as well.
Yeah.
So carving and working on my rock,
Yeah.
the rough rock, and try to refine it and chisel it later.
As it goes.
With fine work, as
Yeah.
it goes, I'm open to
Yeah.
opportunities, possibilities, like I said.
Yeah,
So
talking
for
about-
success, maybe I can mention this. If you have a general objective and idea, take it, and like me, do not talk too much. Sometimes I tend to talk too much, but no action is useless. Just
Yeah.
like the light. You are enlightened, you're not using it, it's useless. You need to reflect it, spread it.
Yeah.
You need to teach. You learn, but you need to teach people. Then it's useful.
Yeah.
So find your objective and take action.
Action on it.
And this is, I can honestly confess, it is one of my faults too. I talk, I dream, I daydream, but if you don't put it into action, it's useless.
I think this is a normal thing that makes
Correct.
us appreciate when we achieve something. Like procrastination. That's why we have program like this. We have talk about the procrastination.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
We talk about possibilities. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about
Exactly.
self-healing, self-development, reading, and all those things, because nobody is perfect. Like
Exactly.
even no matter how much you love something, you have passion for you're reaching a particular level. It's like the mindset. It's filled up. Do you know that most people have actually achieved their dream?
But they're
What-
not aware.
Yeah, they're unaware. It's like when you sit down and say, you look out, if only we have a picture or a memory of when we were little, all our dreams, all our wishes. When we begin to tick out all the wishes, we'll find out that all these new wishes is the adults in us that's
Correct.
creating the new dreams. So like 80% of our dreams are already achieved, but
Exactly.
we are creating more. The more we are achieving, we are redesigning a new model of our dreams and all that.
Another
Really?
spiritual concept there is
Yeah.
gratefulness.
Gratefulness.
We have to be thankful
Yeah.
for what we have and work on it.
Yeah.
But coming to the general recipe of success, steps, find your objective, find your passion.
Yeah.
Put it into use, application,
Yeah.
apply it, and assess it, review it. It has to be measurable.
Yeah.
It has you need to say from Monday to Friday I will sell 5 eggs. 1 egg every day.
Yeah.
So you can measure it. It has to be objective.
Yeah.
Not your mother or spouse patting you on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to be able to scale it and measure it. If it's not working,
Yeah.
revise it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Regroup and reapproach.
How can you on the last one,
Okay.
how can you give advice using the word possibilities to our viewers as your last word?
I'd like to thank again for watching this show. I thank you, viewers out there, for opening new possibilities in my journey, being here today. So, the viewers out there, you did give me a possibility to become a better person, maybe, to work on myself more. And please take this as a lesson for yourself. This is an interaction. The world is diverse, but it is in unity. So try to understand this and try to become oneness in existence with others. That'll open many doors to you. That'll result in many possibilities for you. That'll create a lot of opportunities. Be thankful for it. See if it's working. Continue, improve, innovate. If it's not working, take a rest, revise, regroup, reapproach. But remember, this is not a fight or war. Do not get greedy. Just look within yourself, go through that journey. You'll find out that possibilities have been sitting there all along. Just go look into the mirror. And you are the Seymour of yourself.
The Seymour. I love that. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Türker.
you.
And I hope to talk more on that Seymour thing. I will definitely go and look for it.
Hopefully.
Again, once again, thank you so much for having you on our program and sharing into your mindset. And I hope to have you again next time.
Thank you.
Our dear viewers, I am filled with knowledge. Like, I feel so filled up in the mind, in the brain, in the heart, physically, everything. I don't know about you, but for me, he has arisen. Is that in English like that? He has
Vision.
Vision, yes. Oh my God, English. He has risen vision, everything in me. I am so glad that we have to talk. We have our guest for today, and for those of you who have missed some of our segments, you can go on YouTube, NTR TV YouTube channel, and check playlist. You see Possibilities with Esther. You can get to watch some of our programs. If you would want to share something on this platform, we can also provide it for you. We can do through Skype. You don't have to be in the studio. If you can make it, I'll be so glad. But we can still do it online. If you have something you want to learn about, check out the information on your screen, send message, WhatsApp messages, and I will try to reach out to you as soon as I get that. And stay tuned for next time as we bring interesting segment, inspiration, motivation, educational, and also fun. Stay tuned with NTR TV, and I am Esther James. Have a wonderful day.